what I think it's interesting about this experience of ayahuasca is that for Amerindian cosmologists, we have the idea that we have one nature and several different cultures. This is our Western cosmology. So a Chinese has one culture, a Brazilian has one, an American has, and to respect other cultures would be to have cultural relativism. This is the way we classify one nature and multi-cultures. For the Amerindian cosmologists, you have a different way of separating nature and culture. So you have the idea that there is one main culture or spirit that is common to all things. So you have a multi-cultural, multi-nature. Let me put it that way. You have one culture or spirit that is common to everything, and different bodies. You have different material bodies. So you have different natures and one culture, whereas we have one culture and different natures. For us, I'll do it again, okay? It's hard to, it's very philosophical, this idea I want to express. You said my final. I would like to say how I see the ayahuasca experience on Amerindian cosmology's basis. So for us, for the Western, we have the idea that there is one nature that is common to everything, and we have several cultures. So we have the American culture, we have the Chinese culture, the Brazilian culture, but we all get fed on a common same nature. So we have one nature and several cultures, multiculturalism. And cultural relativism would be to respect other people's culture. And on this Amerindian cosmologies, you have a different idea. You have an idea that you have one common culture or spirit to all things. So you have only one common culture to all. And you have different natures. So you have different nature. I am one nature. My body is the nature of human being. That body is the nature of a plant. That body is the nature of an animal. So it's the opposite idea. So whereas you have cultural relativism here you have what some anthropologists call Amerindian Perspectivism. What is the idea of Amerindian Perspectivism? The Amerindian Perspectivism is that idea that depending on where you are on the chain, you will have a different idea of all those other bodies. For example, I am a human being and I see that animal as an animal, and I think I am a human being and he is an animal. But the animal itself, he has a different perspective than mine. The animal himself, he sees himself as a human being and he sees me as meat, as food for him. And for example, if I am walking around, I see those little pigs playing around and eating some dog shit. That's what I see in my eyes, in my human eyes. But for their eyes, they're not pigs. They're human beings who are partying, who have social relationships, who have their gatherings, and that dog shit is their super delicious banana that they are eating, you know? So each species has a different perspectivism, a different perspective on all the other species. And so it is a much more radical idea than cultural relativism, because it's to a limit different to all species, you know. And what is the experience of ayahuasca and what is shamanism? Is the idea that you can jump in and see the other one's perspective. So what is the shaman? The shaman, he's a translator, he's a mediator, he's a communicator, he's a decodificator. So what can the shaman do? The shaman drinks ayahuasca and he goes to the body of the jaguar and he sees the world as a jaguar. Because he and the jaguar, they do not share different, the difference between them is a difference of bodies, of natures, but not a difference of essence. They have a same common essence. All species have a same common essence that is a cultural, spiritual essence. So in our modern cosmology, we narrate to ourselves that in the past we were monkeys or we were apes, and then we developed and became human beings, right? So the human, we have an ambiguous way to relating to human beings, because we are a little bit animal and we are a little bit human. Okay, when we want to say something bad about the other one, you say, you're an animal. We have this rational, irrational ambiguity. We are rational beings, but we are animals. And for this Amerindian cosmologists, it's not that everybody in the past was animals and became people. Everybody in the past was people. All the animals were people, all the plants were people, all the people are people. And with times, all people became to be body of man, body of jaguar, body of plant, body of rock, body of mountain, body of river. And within the ayahuasca experience, within the plant teachers, you see the true nature of everything. You see that deep inside, everything is people, everything has a common essence, everything is spiritual and cultural. So the shaman, he has the ability to look these other perspectives. He's the one that goes there and he sees the world from that point of view, because what he does is not a subjectivity transformation, it's a physical transformation. He enters the body of a jaguar. He transforms himself as a jaguar. And as occupying this, because this is not a body, this is just clothes, this is just material, appearance, but inside you have this essence. As occupying this body, this different nature, you get and you see the perspective. So what is the shamanic experience? Is to see those perspectives, but to have control over this, to go and to come back. So I go and I become a jaguar. I see the world as a jaguar. And this is just not like fun. You got to do some things like that. You got to heal. You got to negotiate how much pigs. The shaman pig is going to let you hunt. And if you don't respect that, you might, get some problems and you don't get any hunting anymore. You do this because you negotiate, you mediate the relationships between man and nature. So doing this work and doing these transitions and occupying these different bodies and these different perspectives and returning back, it's the shamanism. So what is the danger? What is the problem in the shamanic experience? Is that it's a journey that you might also not return. So the danger is to confuse yourself with that other perspective and actually become a jaguar and do not come back. Or if you wanted to put in our words, it's just a one-way trip, The danger is to become this otherness and do not separate yourself from this otherness. So it's the danger of becoming insane. It's the dangers of becoming an animal. It's the dangers of becoming dead. Because the perspectivism, it's not only man, plants, and animals. It's also among the dead and the alive. So this is the big challenge of the experiences, is to go and to come back.